Hello and welcome to our quick discussion on something called knowledge management. All right, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So knowledge management is a systematic process. Okay, it is the process of capturing, organizing, and sharing of an organization's collective insights, their experience and expertise. It's about making sure that the right people have the right answers at the right time. Okay, right people, right answers at the right times. 3 R's, I guess you could say. Now, the goal of KM or knowledge management is to improve decision making and boost productivity because you're making sure that the critical insights and the expertise remain accessible across teams and across departments. And studies have shown that effective knowledge management, KM, can raise productivity of knowledge of workers by 20 to 25%. That's actually pretty significant. So there are essentially four key aspects to KM. One is the creation. This is creation is generating the new insights through research, through collaboration, experimentation, such as R&D, research and development findings, and process improvements. Next is storage. This is organizing information in a secure, accessible format. You've got things like databases, wikis, and digital repositories where you can store all that material. Next is sharing. This is making the knowledge available to others through meetings, through knowledge bases, through mentorship. Okay, this is all part of sharing that knowledge, that information. And then there is the application. This is using the insights to improve processes, to solve problems, make strategic decisions that better drive customer outcomes. When it comes to knowledge management, there are essentially three types of knowledge. One is explicit knowledge. Now, this is where this is documented knowledge that's easily shared, it's easily stored, it's easily disseminated, it's easily shared. And it can be written down. Some examples of this are user manuals, how-to guides, standard operating procedures or SOPs, and recorded policies. The next type is called tacit knowledge. This is personal know-how, it's insights, it's experience that somebody has that are really harder to document. It's all in someone's head, okay? You can't necessarily write it down. Some examples are like a veteran technician has the skill that a veteran technician has for diagnosing an issue. There's also personal connections, or there's intuition that is gained from years of work. Now, the third type is called embedded knowledge. This is built directly into the systems and the processes or routines. For example, an automated workflow. There are 5 stages of the KM process. The first is to identify. This is determining what knowledge exists and where the gaps are in the organization and in that information. Next is capturing that information, where you're documenting or collecting the knowledge into a format, into a shareable format, like recording an expert's process. Third is organizing. This is where you categorize, you structure all that content that you've developed in these other two so that it's easy to find. Maybe you use tags, you use taxonomies, you use metadata to help keep track of all of that. Fourth is distribute. This is where you're making that knowledge accessible to others through tools like search abilities, search bars, wikis, or even targeted alerts. And then there is the maintain, which is keeping the content accurate and up to date. And the way you do that is through regular review cycles to ensure trust and reliability in the process and in the knowledge. Now, why is KM knowledge management so crucial to business? Well, one is improved productivity. Employees spend less time searching for answers. Average workers spend nearly 20% of their time looking for information. When you've got all that knowledge management together, it can speed up the process. It also leads to higher customer satisfaction because support teams can resolve issues faster and more consistently because that information is more readily available. In fact, studies have shown that it's up to 32 times faster, those resolutions, those solutions, because you have this knowledge management in place. Knowledge retention. This institutional knowledge is preserved. Even when experienced employees leave, it prevents loss. Better collaboration because teams are aligned, they're informed. It minimizes redundant work and those information silos where it's all just kept in one place. Faster decision making. Access to that verified, trusted knowledge reduces second guessing and delays. And a smarter innovation because teams can build upon the existing knowledge instead of having to reinvent the wheel and build it from scratch all over again. So where is it applied? Where is knowledge management applied? These are the most often cases. Customer support, internal troubleshooting docs, agent assistant tools, and external help centers for self-service. Okay, customer support. Next is in sales and marketing because all that centralized messaging, the product information, the case studies, it enables go-to market teams when it comes to sales and marketing. And finally, human resources. This may be the big one because this is where your employee handbooks, your policy documentation, and your onboarding guide, your streamlined onboarding guides can be found, is in HR. So some best practices for knowledge management. Here they are, okay? Let's start with the first one. Make knowledge accessible, okay? This knowledge shouldn't be locked down in just this static portal. You got to use tools that bring the answers directly into the daily workflows, like chat apps and browsers. Keep the content current. Set mandatory review cadences. Trust in knowledge dependency depends on its accuracy. I'll say that again. Trust in knowledge depends on its accuracy. Stale or duplicate content reduces productivity and it reduces trust. Foster a sharing culture. KM must be a team effort. Empower subject matter experts, or SMEs, to document their expertise and recognize their contributions and recognize the contributors. Start small, scale smart. If you're just beginning to put these practices in place, don't try to do it all at once. It doesn't work, okay? Focus on the high impact content first that solves the biggest pain points. Okay, that is all about knowledge management. Okay, this is all keeping it all together. Keeping all of the information that you have, all of the knowledge, all of your information in a nice, concise place so that you can do all of these different things and keep all of your information current. And that is essentially a quick overview of knowledge management.